Yeah, I've heard of the 4-year cycles. What the fuck? Oh my god. All right. Yeah, slide through here, everybody. Hold on, my hair is driving me nuts right now. I'm gonna. Everybody here? What up? Made my first trade yesterday. Did really well on a put for Meta. Thank you. 500%. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. I love seeing that shit. You said drippy? I got the Joker colors on right now, actually. I got a purple pants. Shit. Yeah, if you guys speculated on that downside like we talked about, pretty juicy type shit. Yeah, I thought you'd like that Joker. Yo, Ivy. All right, it's 8:42. We're live on YouTube. We're live on TikTok. Got the ring on it in case you got to take care of business. The ring on it. What are you talking about? All right. What's up, motherfucking please? All right, guys, it's 8:43. Hopefully everybody has heard the word. All right. Good morning, everybody. Make sure to tap your screen if you guys are on TikTok. YouTube or Discord right now is being weird. I think it might be working now. It looks like it's working. But anyway, guys, let's look at the 24-hour open here on the Qs, and we did in fact speculated on the potential of actually I did call out the 720 719 area. Doesn't matter, but um, anyway, pretty substantial little pullback after a tap of that overhead high that we have been talking about all week. You tapped it, and now you are pulling back. So what comes into question today is, does this box, right? Does this box help us reverse? And we're very close to 719.67, which is the only place that this could wick up, right? And all of that empty space could try to go and get filled. On the contrary, right, and the hourly is probably going to be a great place to navigate this. This range right here, I think, is going to be the deciding factor on whether we head lower or not, and that'll be 718.66. followed by 715.37 for any sort of continuation to the downside. So what do I think about it? We'll take a look at that. But you don't have sound on TikTok? You guys can't hear me? You guys hear me? That's what. Yeah, the Discord's not working right now. Okay. God, there's so many of you guys in here. Uh, all right. Trade with Pablo. How about trade with D's, baby? All right. So anyway, if you're looking for continuation of the downside, that is what you're looking for. Now let's switch over to IWM because this one has not fallen as much. So yeah, you could look for, and I'm going to say this slowly. You could look for the same thing that happened to the Qs to happen to IWM with a 301 target to the upside. And while this channel here is, not the thing, I think it actually probably would be our best form of targeting. Looking at the range down underneath us with 300 and maybe 300 flat, $350 or $300.50 and $300.20 could be an area to look for a speculative move to the downside following what we saw on the Qs. Any sort of reversal would be through the box up above, right? 303.88, and that might be a nice retest area. But ultimately below orb this morning, we might be looking at some downside following the yeah, I blocked him. Thoughts on the expanded trading hours on select tickers? Better. The options are not going to be as liquid for a minute, but it's honestly better. You're telling me that I can take profit on a swing earlier? Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I haven't really seen anything besides the liquidity of the options be an issue, so this dump could happen even before the bell, but we'll see. All right. Anyway, moving on. SPY, same thing, right? Just it already had this. So if you're focused on anything falling further, I would say IWM might be your best bet. But here this morning on SPY, again, 24-hour candle is going to be. If it ever fucking loads. Oh, look at the kitty cat's belly. Look at the belly. Don't bite me. Why do cats do that? Why do cats show you? They show you their fluffy bellies, and they're all cute, and then you touch them and they murder. Sadistic. So yeah, anyway, we're just literally sitting on a floor. So there's retest levels up above you. This could be fun for day trading, but ultimately pre-market lows would be your orb downside. And at that point, the only area that I have would be like 763. Am I shorting SPY? Chris says, what that says? Purple Chrises. So it must be like kisses, but like with an R, Chris's. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to short SPY. I think I'm going to short IWM because as you've noticed, or if you don't notice, this ETF hasn't fallen nearly as much. And one thing that I've done pretty regularly is actually I'll trade these one or the other. Two will lead, one will lag. One will lead, one will two will lag. So I try to find the one that hasn't made that move yet. So I might check that out. I spy my little eye, a cute little Potter guy. What the fuck? Set the timer. The timer is already set, brother. I already have it set. That's a permanent thing now. All right, so all three ETFs, folks. If you're just tuning in, you didn't catch it, go to YouTube. But other than that, folks, I think making a little bit more of a detailed plan here on IWM. I'll be looking for an opportunity to try to go short on it. But just keep in mind that areas like this will respond, and once we get underneath them, we could really see some nice price action. I actually think that we could see 298.33. Uh, yeah, and Chris says, honestly, this one might be more affordable than SPY. I don't like trading SPY every day. Yeah, yesterday we were being patient. You just need to maintain. I mean, now we have a little bit more, volatility overnight. So, all right, folks, 3 ETFs, one set of analysis. Let's go ahead and get you guys caught up on what we got going on this morning and what may have driven price down overnight. All right, so this is your morning news call, folks. Let's talk about it. So really quickly, guys, Nasdaq and S&P futures slipped on chances of a peace deal between the U.S. and Iran waned. While in bond markets, the U.S. 30-year Treasury yields rose to their highest level since 2007 as worries of imminent escalation in the Middle East sent Brent crude futures prices to $90 a barrel, fanning fears of inflation. European shares edged lower, and Japan's Nikkei snapped a 5-day winning streak. Chinese and Hong Kong stock closed little change as a retreat in artificial intelligence and technology shares offset gains in energy stocks. The dollar rose, pressuring gold prices lower, but remained near multi-month lows against its peers as traders reduced their bets on federal rate hikes. Export and import prices, manufacturing output data, and housing numbers are on the economic radar today. Paramount seeks $1.88 billion bond from the state over AG merger lawsuit. Meta faces 29 state trial that could reshape Instagram and Facebook, Lord willing. As retail stagnates, the ad dollars helped Walmart stay on course. So Walmart same-store sales growth, it was off. Cautious annual outlook. But this one did, in fact, it's actually green right now. Off of that earnings, but hasn't really made any sort of move. But anyway, yeah. So they're still looking pretty good. Anthropic's revenue run rate tops over $65 billion. Home Depot beat quarterly sales estimate on steady repair demand, which resulted any fucking minute now. Hey, you called it. Apple bounced around 495. Nice. Well, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. You said Ulta? I tell you what, guys, I am very, very, very close to switching. Yep. Yep, nice bounce. Right where we wanted it. All right. I might actually have to download the TradingView app. I think I might actually have it. TradingView. Yeah, I'll use the app. And the app isn't any better? No? Fuck off. Fuck off, mate. That's diabolical, cunt. Hey, Potter, hope you have a fantastic week. I hope you do too as well. All right. Well, all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys are caught up as far as the data is concerned. I don't know what the fuck that thing was talking about, but tomorrow we got FOMC meeting minutes. Oh, that's because I don't think I have the orange folders on, but pretty much a lull for me. So. All right, now just to recap on a couple of things, just still looking at mRNA, which, as of right now does have a red inside 24-hour time frame candle. So looking for this one to try to bounce at 63. But other than that, guys, I'll go ahead and let you guys take it away. So if you guys have anything you would like for me to take a look at, please give me some detail. If you are inside of my Discord, please drop your request the way that it's supposed to go inside of the trading bubble, inside of the Discord, so I can still get to your guys' request first. So don't even bother if you're in the Discord to put your comment on TikTok. But if you're on TikTok, drop your request, and let's see if we can add anything to the watch list perhaps today. All right. Walmart earnings is on Thursday. Oh, that's right. It is on Thursday. It is, but somehow they got some more data coming in early. So that one still needs to get over 116.50. Celsius to the upside. I really like this one, and the setup is absolutely fantastic. The break mark is pretty much on point. That's 30.40 and 30.89. Once that breaks, I expect a very strong candle. So basically here to here in one day. I think that's a reasonable move. But that being said, I also have high hopes for this one if that does occur to actually punch over 33, maybe even 35, and move up to 41. So I actually am very interested in this setup. I've got alerts set on it. So PLTR to the downside. Don't use Discord. Discord's not working this morning, guys. We're all here though. So you got a 24-hour candle open inside of a range with 2 off the top and now 2 off the bottom. Take a look at that. So very clean, institutionally sound box with very clear boundaries, right? Very clear floor, 169.12 with a retest level 166 and 162.89 directly underneath you, or the imbalance, which would be just taking that candle from here to here, and that would be 163.89 on the penny. So, but that's to the downside. To the upside, you do have evidence or lower time frame mechanics, right? The little gears that move the big gears. A little gear would be moving through this median right here at 174.71 and heading up to the top box right there. That would be the little gears inside of the box that'll help you get going. So utilize those. I would also say the same thing for this as well, but just use the floor. So it's in a box. This is honestly just, safe. All right. Apple up to 310 today. So we got the stocks are moving back. Now, one of the things that I was looking at going into today, and it looks like we're getting ready. We might end up catching a W on this one if you do have Apple to the upside. We just need to get over 308.64. And I see, I mean, especially if we saw a pretty sizable pullback, we've been seeing Apple move up against the market. That doesn't have to always be true, but if that is true today, you could see a pretty nice move to 313, which would be 1, 2, 1, 2, and that third one overhead. So I still like this one. Obviously, this morning's goal will be to stay above 307, or that is not going to be an upside trade at all. So NVIDIA, I could see a take profit on this situation since you've swung into it, but that is going trading box to box, so you have landed on the 220s. You do have a target at 218.66. But yeah, I mean, this is a candidate. It is also something that you have to consider continuing to go down because this 50% mark breaking would lead you to the floor. The floor could lead to continuation to the downside. So really, I think it's all, I would focus, this box alone is going to have a whole lot to do with what NVIDIA gets done today, because you could bounce off of this and retest back up and stay in range and keep that an inside 24-hour candle. So what I'm saying is if you are planning on holding, right, you have to have a stop loss that makes sense. I think orb right there at 221.15 makes sense because at that point you'll hit 222. All right. DKNG up is a trade that we're all waiting on. I would say the likelihood is a little low right now, especially with the pullback that we saw coming off of the overhead resistance of 26.66. I told people you could hedge. It is getting bought up here this morning, so if you could flip a candle like this green, that would be monumental. But the idea here is to get it over 26.50. Point blank, period, end of story. That is what has to happen. So what was that? Link to the glasses? My glasses are literally right here, guys. Actually, if I go look at any website, they'll advertise them to me. Yeah, if you want to buy my glasses, they are very cheap. I buy them. Look, right there. They're $19. If you don't want medicated, it's cheaper. But these have blue light lenses on them. You got nitrous? Nitrous. We don't want stock of glass. Yeah, it's Zenni Optical. Zenni sponsored me. I've been fucking shouting you guys out. TikTok shot finally got me 3 pairs for $10. They're actually solid. Listen, these are and look at my fucking eyes. Look how tired I am. So I mean, like even on your sleepy days, and makes you kills the fucking dark circles. But no, I have two giant lights shining in my face right now, and so these things have saved my eyeballs. But I buy like 4 or 5 pairs of these at a time. I'll spend like $300-400, and I'll just buy a fuck ton of them. And then sometimes I'll buy Peyton some, and she just got prescription glasses. But yeah, red lenses do help quite a bit. So no, I got. See, Peyton's got these right here. I don't know why they're in my office, but they're in here. Different vibe. Now I feel like I'm gonna maybe assault somebody. I'd watch her drink when I'm around me. Um, I'm definitely gonna be looking at somebody's wife wearing these glasses. That's how it feels when I look at myself. Yeah. Now I'm gonna do some illegal shit. All right. Let's get back into character. All right, guys. Keep dropping those requests here. Apple, yeah. So we talked about Apple, Nvidia. I think I talked about that one as well. That one, I mean, pull back into a 50% of a range. So you're gonna have to be careful on this one. Downside is obviously the move at the moment. And then you wonder why I get banned. I never wonder, dude. I know exactly why. I'm no stranger to my own behavior. All right. Well, it looks like it's shaping up like a potential breakout retest. So I'd be looking at 222.80 today, and then any sort of reversal would happen over 237.76. So you've got, yeah, I'd say right here over 237. I mean, here and here both are decent bounce levels. So what did you just mark? I didn't mean to do that. Your homie Buck is back around. He speaks highly of you and your system. Yeah, I do know a Buck. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I hope he's doing good. Didn't know if it's just me, but nobody can hear. The Discord is down right now, brother. It says my mic is working, but I can't hear anybody else. He's the man. He disappears from time to time. He's just like me. He's just like me. All right, let's see here. INTC up. Be careful on that upside today, folks. All right, so right now, right, with basically a complete breakdown over the top of this range right here, you could be looking at a potential downside experience underneath 97.33. Yeah, and there's not a lot there, but if you are looking for upside, it will be back over, right? And not to mention there is basically some semblance of a box right there. So bouncing today would be a priority, but it actually does look like something that you could maybe consider going short on, looking at a target of 92.66 underneath the breakdown, which you're not there yet, but of 96.27, which is the floor that you're looking at hitting here possibly this morning. AVGO to the upside swing, gear and grit. Hell yeah. Somebody asked me about this one yesterday, and I said cost basis is king on this one, and it's 382.90. That is where you're going to need to break it. I mean, this is a candidate potentially to punch down through the box and go and hit 350, 348.90. So I mean, right now today is cost basis day, which is where price typically bounces its hardest. So you're going to have to keep your eyes peeled on that bounce and what it's able to recover. But this one could be a downside trade. What did you do to have 3 charts like that? No, Discord is not working, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, you got it. I just hope everybody is careful today. Okay, with the ETFs and stuff moving back, be careful if you're looking to the upside. So, I just upgraded, dude. I'm on the premium try or premium subscription. So, McDonald's, it's looking good. Well, I can tell you this much: this level has been incredibly bouncy, and it seems like the 968 right here is where you get a lot of explosive price action. So I would say right now that is the key resistance and floor up above you to get you up here. So you got to even bounce, you know. So it's always worth taking a look at what that's able to recover. But that's it. I don't really see anything else other than that. So. No, but I saw some meme season. I just saw last night this guy was saying that NFTs are back. And I went and looked at the NFT prices, but them things ain't back. Boy, them things are dead. What are you talking about? Hidden unreported oil reserves drying up in SA. I heard that. Oh, man. Just got into options, Chad? Well, you just landed in the possibly the best place you could ever land for trading options, my friend. Yeah, NFTs were a scam. All of my spam is people wanting to make NFTs with my art. That's fucking diabolical. All right, what else do we have here, folks? AAOI. So that target yesterday that I gave you got hit, and then this overhead high pullback, breakout, pullback retest. You fell back underneath the overhead highs, so you've lost a lot of what you. This one doesn't have an answer, right? Because you don't have a response. You haven't fallen underneath the box, so you could very well bounce and build, right? But if you do fall underneath this, you have empty space down, and you could end up hitting 133. So something like this, I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh, I really don't have the ability to give you anything. I mean, because it's clear, right? This is the floor. This is the box you broke out from, and now you're pulling back into that box or close to it. So obviously, we want to see price maintain and hold itself up above those levels. If you're bullish or if you're bearish, you're looking at that retest to fail. So AO to the upside. Said Apple's curling down. Nah, it's only 5 minute, man. We'll see. We'll see. Tay, this could, Kima, this could be a good. You might be able to speculate on that one. I might actually, yeah. If you're looking at AO, I'm not gonna lie, that actually does look really nice. That empty space back up above, that would be sweet. You've got a clean overhead high. The 24-hour actually looks pretty rich at that 1850 mark. So the period point blank here is above 1850, you're looking at a new high. Um, and then as of right now, the lower time frame is speaking to a potential breakout of the small box that you've created here. So over 1650, yeah, this actually looks good. 1650, 1695, and then you would want to see all of that empty space filled up rather quickly, similar to, here. But longer expirations are going to be needed if you're looking to go, way, way up. But yeah, this actually looks good. This doesn't look bad. Obviously, if it loses this floor, that's calling for more downside. So, um, this one very much looks like that below 5660, you're going to be pulling back to 5570. That one looks like a pullback. Oof. Oof. Chop City. Oh my God, this is one hell of a choppy stock. So where are you? You are at your overhead high, clearly, and that has shown resistance. That resistance is playing out right now. So I'm not gonna lie to you. This is not my typical shit, right? But it does have cost basis right here, which is being rejected. So any sort of floor loss would likely result in a breakdown. That's 868, and then over 975.22. You could be looking at a new high in 1062 as well. SOXS, do you play ETFs? Somewhat new here. I do play ETFs, but I'm very on again, off again with them because I'm not silly. I'm not stupid. I understand very deeply that price on all ETFs goes through periods of consolidation like this, where trading is almost it's just unreasonable to try to get it done. But you get these small areas right here and then expansions. And I trade the expansions out of these boxes. And as long as you do that, you're in tune or riding the waves. But if most people show up every fucking day to try to trade the ETFs, and that's how they find out the fucking hard way. Now, this has a pretty incredible setup, and especially for those of you who are looking for a hedge going into this potentially volatile breakdown, this is pretty fucking sweet, right? I'm assuming that this is mostly empty, but what do we have to do, right? Punch over 43.32 and over 45. Do you see how empty all of that is? I can tell you right now that this actually, I'm really intrigued. Now, I don't expect always a complete, but I could see something very much like that. If you can break over that high of 46, I think that 46 and 48.60 will be two monumental overhead resistances that once broken would signify the high potentiality of price reversing and filling up these empty pockets right here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna write that down. And I would look at this as basically as a hedge, right? This should be something where if you say you're long on anything, this would be something where you could definitely look at. I'm going to use this as a hedge. I think obviously SQQQ is also a really good option, but yeah, this one looks virtually the same, and it's semiconductor based, so expect some pretty heavy swings. Tesla is moving exactly as I would expect something like Tesla with no box at the bottom to move, right? Exhaustion, build, exhaustion, retest, build, exhaustion, retest, build. It has literally been pop, build, pop, retest, pop, build, retest, pop, build, retest. And that's what you're at. That's where you're at here this morning, right? Is you are retesting levels that you had established previously as the breakout levels, which then basically creates this up above, which is now your bullish floor to reclaim, which would signify that bulls are back in charge. But at the moment, with the overnight markets and with exterior markets across the world falling and having all of this empty space, if you did lose 332, I would be looking at a 328.50 target to the downside here this morning. I don't see a lot of pockets of empty space here. Obviously, this is very highly navigatable with this 30-minute time frame being very well constructed. Pockets of empty space. So those of you guys who are independent traders that follow me, especially in my Discord, that are able to do this kind of stuff alone, you should be able to navigate something like that. So yes, Discord is not working, guys. I don't know what's going on. Amazon hit a floor yesterday. Luckily, I had some traders inside of the Discord nail a really nice short to the downside, tapping the wick, bouncing, and not really able to really recover anything. So that's going to be the name of the game this morning. And in fact, you'll notice that one of your pre-market wicks is trying to go over 261. That's a day trade up to 262.50. And maybe if we saw some sort of crazy reversal today, 264. 50 would be a target overhead, but right now you just landed on a floor and you haven't recovered anything. So if you're unable to bounce and recover these overhead highs, and this one did lead in that dump, so I would definitely look at this one as a good. It's a decent little day trade setup. Thoughts on Pokemon cards? I have them. I'll throw them in the trash right now, baby. Yeah, this one I haven't opened. All right. Yeah, it looks like I am going to be trading on live today. I don't know. I don't. Nothing has fallen into my lap here this morning. So as of right now, I'm not. There's only a couple of things that I'm looking at here, but yeah, let's look at Lemonade. I saw that one come up. So listen, I hope nobody got into this one. We talked about it. Now today could be the day, right? We've got structure underneath us, 24-hour area. This is exactly where you would want price to fall, and then retest and bounce. So if you are bullish or you like the setup that we talked about on Lemonade, one of the things that will have to happen is a reversal over $50.16. That is a requirement, and once that is done, I think you could very much, this is Lemonade's only chance, to create any sort of sense of an uptrend, and that's going to rely on that. So yeah, we're going to need to see either building in here or a nice bounce and reversal. But I like this one for its empty space to the upside, and its potential, again, if you built like this to pop up and hit 58 and fill some of that empty space. So otherwise, just if that one doesn't bounce, I don't have a position on it yet. So I did grab a speculative position, but I got out of it. So um, Clorox. Clorox typically, this one's a safety. Drone explosion at bus stop. Oh. Anyway, I mean, I don't really consider what's happening right now ripping. You're just quite simply trading inside of a box. Yeah, yeah, Walmart's still a contender. I think it's very clear. You're building a cost basis around, and so you got to clear the wick of 107.80, and at that point you'd have a target of 109.80. So, but I would say right up in the one, if you're looking at this long, which is the only fucking way to play Clorox, without having to bleach your eyes, I would say 118.35 and 120 are great targets to the upside long term. So Costco. Yeah, this one's doing well actually here this morning. I'm in a pretty large position, even though I don't have a lot of contracts, but I'm looking for a break over 97.60 here today. And Costco has the whole world as its fucking oyster. It's got a great setup to the upside. However, we just need that kick in the ass. Good morning, time to make $1 billion in one trade right at open. What are you in fucking Congress? All right. What's up, J Dan? He said this afternoon. Damn, it's 9:30 in the morning. That one's done, man. I mean, I do know that there's a potential to go to 26, and I'm not sure what the catalyst is. On the chart, the catalyst is 1689. I haven't even looked at this one, and it tapped cost basis perfectly, which just lets me know that that is going to be the trigger to the upside to get to 19 or anywhere else. So anything that you're looking on this, you actually one of the most difficult places to trade is in between two boxes. That's exactly where Path is at. So underneath 1510, you can see a pullback, but otherwise, best case scenario is you chop in here. All right, 10 minutes till the bell. Nike looking like yikes, yikes. Listen, if that wasn't the biggest lesson in, I'm not saying, I'm always right, but I tried to warn people to stay away from Nike until those triggers fired. And if you got caught in longs and you did not wait for your trigger. Right? And that's one of the things is this is such a great setup. That just even if you're trying to, if you want to speculate above 40 or something, that's on you. But confirmation is king, and 4140 is that confirmation. So, let's see here. Jay Diamond is live. I don't care, man. I don't care. I'd rather I'd rather harass somebody else. To me, this one looks very much in trend. I would expect a pullback down to 1716. Potter, quick question. I have some contracts a long ways out on something is a day like today. Huh? I had 39 puts on Friday and it didn't move just for this motherfucker to make the anticipated move Monday. Khalil, last night was really the best swing setup. Is it good to average? I mean, Joey, pick a paw. I don't know what you're in, right? And everything that I do is determined by what the chart is saying. So, just because you're down that's not a great time to average into a new position or something. Just because you're down, that's not a good reason. SoFi hasn't changed, folks. Still inside of the range, just two taps off the overhead resistance. So if you're a smart cookie, you could grab a downside hedge, right? And at this point, you could just simply look at the floor, right? $15. Because if this decides to go down, right, inside of a box, there are no promises. So, Potter, I'm in AMD stock since 100. Should I hold? I mean, brother, I cannot give you financial advice on what you should do with your buy. I mean, it's at $488, brother, so if that's not a good place to maybe secure some bags, if I had it, dude, at $100, yeah, securing bags would be my main priority. What's a good prop firm to trade Forex? They're all out there to make it help. You go find me one prop firm that's not profiting off of losers. Imagine that. Imagine going into a business and on the front door it says only losers. Because they listen, you want to know something? Do you know why prop firms give out such crazy discounts? That is them betting on you losing. They are so willing. I don't know if there is a good way to trade Forex, man, without having a live account of some sort. That I don't trade Forex. I stay away from Forex. I don't like the way the price moves. I don't like any of that shit. and I just think it's kind of a waste of time. So if you're looking for somewhere to trade forex, that's where I would look. But no, it's honestly diabolical because you cannot have a prop firm that has successful traders. And there are some that like, say, well, we'll hire you, to be a real trader and we'll give you real capital. I don't give a fuck about none of that, right? Because at the end of the day, the main profit model is you losing. So yeah, they are. They're horrible for psychology. Your P&L is displayed. Everything is in green and red. It's all emotional. And these young dudes, man, I mean, I feel bad for 18 and 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds, bro, because it's like that shit's immediately in their face and it's just like, "Oh, look, we got a special shortcut for you." Come on, bruh. I've been doing this shit too long. I mean, I'm not trying to sun anybody, but it's like, dude, you're not getting away with shit like that. That they wouldn't make that bet. They wouldn't give you those crazy discounts if they thought you were a winner. For 485 looks like your cost basis. This one is in danger of potentially punching down. Now you have established on the 8 hour that this is a wider range. So it's going to be your bottom floor, right? That actually saves you. And that's going to be this right here. So anything under 79.83, this one actually is in danger of potentially dropping back to the floor if it loses this bottom. So yeah, Las Vegas was built by losers. Yeah. Right, pay all the big influencers to show off their Lambos and upsell prop firms. It's literally the fucking thing. It's literally the whole thing. I taught you well. That's a crazy thing to say. I wish I had somebody teaching me how to do this shit when I first started and I didn't lose $80,000 of unrealized gains, go through depression, lose weight, get an eating disorder, have my back and hips give out. Yeah, I wish all that I wish I could have circumvented that. Do you trade options, futures? New here. Femme Supreme? That's a cool ass fucking name. I do trade options, yes, and I personally trade futures every once in a while. I'm very seasonal with that. So, but look at you now, you're a goat. Hold on, Potter, let me get my violin. You know what? You're banned. No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, it is 9:27. Listen, we're gonna have one of those moments. Do you have a Potter box, a PBS setup right now? If you follow me, I know there's a lot of you guys right now, you're independent traders. I'm not talking to you, right? You're doing what most people will never be able to do. I trust you. But for those of you who are new to my Discord, Discord's not working right now. Today's one of those days. If you don't know, watch, ask questions. All right. If you have any speculative puts on the cues, that's going to be a take profit from me. The only thing that I'm looking at for a day trade at the moment, obviously, we've got Apple, which I am watching, but I'm also looking at the potential of IWM falling in tandem with the, again, it's a lead and lag scenario here, but I will tell you right now that 302 is going to be a powerful, powerful bounce level. So either you're in up here or you're in under here. But the target would be $300.96 and $300.60 if we do get that breakdown. Again, 5 minute, it's not clear empty space, so I do want to let you know this adds to the risk. But if you did swing the cues, that's a take profit situation for show. Yeah. mRNA is going to still stay on the watch list today. It is 2 taps off the top, multiple taps off the bottom. The consolidation now is getting to a maximum, and with a beautiful pocket of empty space to the upside, this one may be looking for a retest back down underneath us. Watch a 62.40 retest today. If it happens, which I think it will, I think it happens fast. If it happens fast, that's where we can bounce and flip and reverse. So, Potter, your shadow banned. I had to search even though I follow. Yes, I am always going to be shadow banned because I talk shit about other traders that are scamming people. And I voice my opinions because I am free, because trading has given me the ability to not give a fuck whether or not I have a social media profile or not. So that is why I get banned, which is awesome. I've gone through 4 or 5 different profiles now. I'll do it again. Look at that. Just fell right in your face. Ding, 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 by the way. Q's immediately bouncing off of that floor.
Look at me.
That's a stop right there at 302.75. Again, that 302 underneath you has to hold. Again, again, again. All right, Apple's also again. Everything is again. Nice retest on Apple on the box underneath you. We talked about this one just a little bit ago. Nice, beautiful retest. If this one is going to flip overhead, it's going to flip over 308. So watch 308. The Qs are moving to the upside. This is that trend line, folks. This is where we could see a decent reversal. So if you're looking at it, remember stop losses are going to be priority number one. Why is my screen all fucked up? Watch 271.50 for a punchback and a potential new high. Any failure to do so would result in possibly a new low. Yeah, Moderna dumped. Is Webull good for options? It's okay. Yeah, it'll get the job done. All right, IWM has a punchback. Again, don't get stuck to a bias. Just get stuck to reacting. Q's great take profit at the bell. Good job on that one. It's hitting cost basis right now. Am I holding Moderna? Yes. Yes. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. Precisely. On the dot. Everything is perfect. I'm a happy person. I want this candle to now bounce hard enough to get this candle to flip green over 63.91. If it doesn't, that's okay. If you want to cut and re-enter, if it does lose the floor, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm not trading the Qs to the upside. No, not right now. I have not gotten in. Amazon. Floor test, you probably have a possible another low at 257.98 and 257.40. Two areas to potentially bounce off of on Amazon. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that one ate the gap. Listen, with this one is running into a box right now on Meta. So anything back up above 557.60, you're liable to retest. So IWM retested, failed. Stop losses if you're going short are 302.57 on the floor. If you're going short on IWM, remember I did talk about IWM kind of leading or leading today while the other ones lagged, but 302, just want to remind you, 302. You said Alta? Dude, look at the bounce. Brother, that is a killer bounce level, right? Yeah, Meta has a big court case today, but we're not going to have a resolution on that court case in for a while. A government order requires Discord to suspend go live and real-time chat video for users in Brazil. All right, 302 here on IWM, perfectly tapped. Look at that. Oh my God, Peyton just knocked on the fucking door. Yeah, and it pissed on you. Wow, I never expected to see that out my window. I just look out my window. Peyton's holding a fucking frog. She's got gloves on and everything. Yeah, the frog just pissed on her hand. Oh, yeah, I thought you just brought that into my office. Out of IWM, let's fucking go, Potter. Done for the day. Woke up 7 minutes ago. Oh, and very good, my boy. Yep, 3-0 target was perfect. Now I'm actually going to be holding a little bit longer, even though I see the cues reversing. IWM again. If this can break down under 302, we could expect quite a bit more. 301 would be another target to the downside. This is mostly empty, so yeah, I'd be looking at 301.19 here if we can break down any further. But nice job on IWM. Cues immediately bouncing right off of 718 and full reversal. So IWM patience. By the way, if you're in the Discord and you did swing any of these speculative puts, might be a good gains post. You said meta's bottom. This is very close to a potential meta bottom. Very beautiful bounce off. God damn it, dude. Listen, I'm not. Dude, people tell me I don't give signals. I do give signals. I just gave people a beautiful signal. Look at the 550-50. Beautiful bounce. That was a perfect bounce level. Who cares? Anyway, I would say right now, right? Again, you can't just go off of the bounce. The bounce has to do something. And that something, right, while it is building well, would need to recover a floor, right? This is a series of rock climbing. There you go, IWM. Retesting right now. Anyway, yeah, you're going to need to pop this candle up and then hit 557, break through this box, and you could see a very nice reversal on IWR on Meta. IWM, same thing. Look, floor right there, first green candle to my left. We're going to want to stay underneath that. Eat that candle up and sink it red if you're going to go north or south, excuse me. Made a nice little bag on IWM, very good. Meta loss seats mean anything at all? Not right now for me. I've made a bag just from watching you. Appreciate you. It's what the fuck I'm here to do. Independent traders are no traders at all. Fuck signals. Signals create lazy sheep that aren't able to do anything on their own. I love seeing it, guys. I love to see it. I love to see it with my eyes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call that what it is. It's a 30-minute empty space. Do you see how price is getting shoved back down? Look at that floor right there to your left. Do you see how every time it gets up there? So the minute a candle closes, on top of that, you'll see price go green. Here's the 50% mark in the box underneath you. See how it momentarily just pauses? Do you see how it stops? So this is now where we can look at a potential new low, right? If we break down through that. Yes, Hayden. Never, I'm not a prop firm dork. Market's already hard enough to navigate. Prop firms make it harder. See how it keeps bouncing? This is where you're extracting the volume out of the 50% mark of this 30-second fucking box. And that volume has a job to do. If that volume can go and touch this, close above it, then you're going to see price wick up and hit 302 and possibly 302.70 and maybe more. First time watching you, the boxes are consolidation zones. There's a specific kind of box. This is a range. This is more of a box. So the only thing that I'm doing, and I don't use the 30-second time frame to actually trade. I watch it to observe because my strategy works no matter what, right? No matter what the time frame. So I know that if price is able to close, right, or pull itself up, that there's a higher probability that price will pop. This, though, however, being not a box, right, it doesn't have consolidate. So it is consolidation that I'm looking for. But specifically, the consolidation that I'm looking for has to have 3 waves or 2 waves. So there needs to be multiple rotations in it. So you pop 1, right? 1, 1, 2, 2. So that creates an actually like substantial box. So there you go, right there. You're seeing that volume get pulled out of the 50% mark. They're trying to close it on 302, but sellers are going to push back. If they're unable to do their job is to push and close price under 302 set 40, price will pop up, hit this 50% mark. If you do not see a substantial rejection off of this, it will continue, as you can see. And that 50% mark then becomes a potential. You can see it fighting. Look at them fight. Look at them fight. All right. So we'll let them duke it out here for a second while I wait. I'm watching this one over here to my left. I want to take a look at Apple right now, which just had a rejection off of 307 and is now plunged underneath the 306, which does potentially put this one as a candidate to drop down to 305 and 305.40. If you do not find a floor shortly, Q's trying their hardest to squeeze this fucker back up, actually. So relentless. This is actually a really good candle. That candle underneath you, that's what fucking looks good. Holy shit. Hands free. Hands free. I hope you guys took that bounce. I said this morning, if you go watch my YouTube back, I said 331.30. So I was 3 cents off. Shoot me. But fuck, that was fire. I can't catch them all, guys. I can't. There's no way I could catch, and I wouldn't have tried to catch Tesla. But if you were watching this one, fucking fire. Freaky Potter hands free. Shit, I could do it. It's all up here, baby. It's all up here. Yes, IWM is pushing itself back up. It hasn't recovered anything, but it is on the lower time frame that we're moving into that range I was just speaking about. And now the top of that range becomes a potential candidate. And funny enough, this is going to be a box. If we punch through this, you're going to see a pretty decent reversal. Do I like SPY? Yeah, keep dropping your requests. I'm watching my trades right now. Yeah, SPY and the Qs both are candidates to potentially reverse here. I think what really matters is if you get stuck in here, that's where this is not going to end up going anywhere. But yeah, SPY does have a pretty nasty reversal. You'll actually notice that the 30-minute floor directly to your left is your current overhead resistance and overhead high. So by breaking that and being outside of that 770 area, yes, there is a potential to move up into 772 to the upside. So it doesn't look bad. KNBR, miss you too, dude. Haven't seen you in a minute. Meta put to 542. How did you guys do on this one? Where's the signal for SPY puts? 1 second, I'll take a look at it. If you caught this one, 546, 548 right now. 543.42 and 540.70. Yeah. So if you're looking at, you said SPY signal. It's funny, I don't signal, but I'll tell you where I see a trigger. Yeah, so that's going to be upon failure, right? Do you see how it's even going red right here? So whenever price pops up and hits something and pulls back, you have to go and look at like what's underneath you. And you'll notice right here a green candle. That's what you're retesting, trying to. So by losing that, that would be step one, but I can't see the greater detail. So if you're going to go short today, you're going to actually have to find a way to finagle yourself up at the top or use the structure in between the two. So like even you're inside of a 30-second box. So I don't know if it's necessarily smart to do it now. But if you can, candle close, even on the 1 minute, and this is only 1, 2, but if you can close here, you're probably going to drop. In fact, it looks like it's trying to do that right now. Watch that 768.40 since you're rushing. But yeah, you could be looking at that as a potential entry to the downside. IWM is rushing to the floor here again, right? Failure on the overhead high. You did pop up, you did fill up that space, and you have now pulled back. And it looks like you might end up breaking this floor to reach a new low. Careful. Healing gems. What did you do? Yo, Steven, what are you bitching about? Brother, DKNG is fine right now. Celsius, just the overhead high. Obviously, with the rejection of that now, right, you're going to be trying to find out where that needs. So, like, now you have the pressures off. You don't have to rush into a trade like this. It's just a matter of getting back up above that 3016. Dude, mRNA, I'm going to kiss you on the mouth. I'm going to kiss mRNA on the mouth, dude. I don't have to try, bro. I just have to chart. And I'm so, oh my God. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Come on, Mara. You got it today, baby. You got it today. We need to get 64.47 reclaimed, baby, and then we can get up on there yonder and fucking shit our pants. All right, IWM, back to you, because I am short. Lemonade is bouncing, but yeah, it is bouncing. Where's my shit right now? Why are we not trapping in paradise? I'm expecting another pop here. Above 302.40, you're going to pop right back up into that 302 to match that lower high here. It's so fun because you can like, I actually really enjoy charting on the 30-second. I'm not trading always on it. In fact, very rarely, but man, I tell you what, it is fun. Over 302.40. It's just so automatic. It's a great place to practice. Where would I get in hypothetically on Apple today? Um, well, here and possibly here. So floor gets recovered, 307.22, 307.60, but 308 is the fucking move. IWM, come on. What do you want? Yeah, housing numbers are at 10 here. Yo, thank you guys for tapping your screen, by the way. Be patient. Listen, take a deep breath. If you have not found anything, if nothing is, make sure you regulate your nervous system, because this is where your brain is rushing. It's trying to find something. It's trying to, if you don't see what we are looking for, if you don't know my strategy, that's another thing. But if you do know my strategy, this is those moments. Make sure that what you're looking at has that empty space, has that good box. Be patient. Be cool, calm, collected. In moments where tension is high, you have to be the person that calms you down. Nobody else is going to do it. Think of it like a jet fighter, right? We're going fast, but I am short on IWM. I am, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be as, it's a big bounce right there, a big possible bounce right here, unless we can rush that low and hit 301.75. Yeah, I'm in you said alert just went off on TTD. What? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck. Yeah, you're damn right it did. Okay, so I can't rush that one, but I can tell you this. it actually does have a pretty good place to get in. We're gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait. Yeah, 5 minute candle close over 1371. Kelly Anderson's a terrible. Never mind. Where can I learn options trading? You're here. You're doing it. Ask me a question. Ask me a question. Go to my YouTube channel. There's nobody on this planet other than two other people that trade options anywhere close to how I do. Not to brag, but you know, if you do the work. What books do you recommend? I'm actually not a. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't read a lot of books to do this. When I first got started, I read, you know, Trading in the Zone. I read bits and pieces of that. But I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. By the way, watch this punch back on the 30-second right here. Watch this punch back, and it's gonna lead right back up here. But why'd you take down the free explainer? I put a new one up. But when I first got started, I got scammed by buying somebody's course that was copy and pasted from the internet, and they just put emojis on it. It was Aristotle Investor, or Aristotle Investments, excuse me, which is Honey Drip Trading now, I think. But he's a terrible, terrible guy. And he was selling this course. I took the course. I got pissed off. I realized at that point that most of the other people who were teaching similar to him. They were showing off their cars. They were showing off all the shit that they had, but never showing off what their traders were able to accomplish or the freedom that they were able to achieve. So I basically started rejecting all modern teachers teaching, right? Brother, I'm copying your trades. Can you lock in, please? Brother, I'm going to block you. I'm not here to help you guys copy my trades. Now, if you want to trade with me, you're more than welcome to trade with me, right? And that means that you need to know my strategy, which is a free, you can learn it for free on YouTube, or you can take my workshop. Both are viable options. But yeah, I'm not here to tell you guys. You guys, listen. I feel like it's disrespectful to yourself to admit that some of these people, right? Go look at the shape of Jay Dunn's head. Do you really think that he's smarter than you? Ah, it's all good. It's all good. IWM, yep, IWM is not recovering any floors. You guys saw the cost basis rejection. Then, when that rejection happened, they shoved it under the floor. You can actually see these two candles here specifically reject those. Now it's flying down. So make sure you guys have that higher time frame up on the left. And there's no empty space for us, guys. So I see 301.75 if we can break down any further. But I'm telling you what, there is no empty space, right? Yeah, so I mean, straight up, guys, I don't, when I read other people's books or I hear their fear. I hear their fear, and I don't want to be taking what other people like. Trading in the Zone says no swing trade should, or day trade should turn into a swing trade, or swing trade, whatever, turn into a day trade. I let the chart tell me what the fuck to do. And I've listened to the chart, and a lot of those lessons that he has told me, or other people have told me that to not do, is just built off of them not being able to do what I do, because they probably listened to somebody else who said, don't do this, it's dangerous. And so they just took that as word. But if you reject all modern teaching, if you reject pattern trading, if you question everything and you are not just, oh, this looks good, it looks like he's winning, but like you actually see that the people who are following that person, they're winning. They're fucking actually able to see independent trading results. So, yeah, I actually listened to clips of that one. Downside, IWM on the 5 minute actually bounced exactly off of the same mark. So we are struggling with that same 302. Any sort of downside for IWM is not promised unless we lose that. So where are we bouncing? You fucking guessed it, 302. All right. So how much is the minimum you suggest to start with? $50. $50 to $100. If I show you my gains page right now, you'll actually see people taking $50 to $100 all the way to. We've had people hit 8,000. We've had people hit 12 grand. So yeah, get the fuck out of here. He just tweeted that. What kind of options go for $50? All sorts of options, baby. All sorts of fucking options. If I wanted to play IWM, I mean, I could probably start a small account and exclusively trade IWM to build it. Legitimately, yeah. Listen, if you want to trade Netflix, I would jam a red hot rod up your butt, because you might have an easier time dealing with that than fucking trying to trade Netflix. Although that was fucking sweet, it did break out over that 76.90 that we talked about, and it is heading up to cost basis at 78.26, which could promise a new high. Which I will be honest with you, this motherfucker has a great price target at $81. But yeah. No way, dude. BE fell again? Ah, damn, that sucks. No, you're absolutely correct. I'm just saying Potter Stocks clips. I'm saying that I could build that account. I'm not saying by the setup that I see now, although I will tell you this, dude. Folks, let me show you something because I don't like just saying it and then just, making it so you guys like have to leave it at that. Do you guys see this terrible price action right here? And then we see this absolutely phenomenal price action here. Notice that when you build these boxes, you break down and then you rip. And volatility returns until it doesn't, and then it does. So right now, right, we're in the throes of volatility. We are in an area where price is moving rather fluidly. Fuck you! mRNA, dude, making me sound like I got Tourette's. God damn it, boy! See, I don't get scared, dude. You can't scare me, Moderna. What are my thoughts on all AI IPOs? I mean, they're probably interesting to trade, but that is it. You don't have turrets? No, I don't have any turrets. Not on my house. That'd be cool, though. I would enjoy a good turret. All right, what else? What are you guys watching right now? What are you guys watching? I'm watching the IWM, but it's just twerking, so I'm waiting. By the way, though, if you were watching that one, it did punch back on the 1 minute. Do you see the little target that I gave you? Look at that. Boop! That's 30 seconds. That's 1 minute. Look at that shit. Oh my god. So this is going to be actually our best chance right now. This is our best chance of getting IWM to the upside / also downside. Here's the small control channel that we have at the moment. So you're saying with a small account, it's better to wait for the perfect moment, even though that might be a couple of weeks until you set up. That's the answer. That's the answer, folks. That's the fucking answer. I just want to take that lesson and this is your head and I just want to fucking shove it in your fucking head. Listen, we make more. We make more than other people with less. We make more with less. So that means it's worth waiting for. On a trade like PayPal, right? That we took fucking months ago. This year, but months ago, right? PayPal looked like this. How long did you have to wait from February 24th all the way to April 9th? But you know how much we made on that fucking thing? Ridiculous. So if you have a small account, your options are fucking limited. You can't do a lot and you have to accept that. But what that means is you are hyper focusing on 2 to 3 great setups, not this bullshit that you're trying to do even on Apple, right? Folks, oh my God, I listen. If I could just go back and tell myself this, I would have saved myself so much heartache. Apple is trying to grab the floor. It is not triggering. Yeah, Nike, yes. So this is an example of something that has yet to come. But I cannot tell you how many times I have traded Nike. Look how long you have to wait. I traded this Nike setup right here. Huge fucking move. I want, and I don't care if anybody calls me greedy because they just can't do what I do. I want these, right? I've traded Nike regularly because look at this. It is a beautiful, beautiful stock to trade when it sets up. And Nike right now isn't necessarily setting up at the moment, but boy, does it have exactly what the fuck we need. And it has multiple areas to confirm its move. So do I need to sit here and fucking hyper fixate on it? No, I set a bunch of fucking alerts and then I leave it alone. So anyway, it's like I could make, and I know this to be true. If I had $100 on trades that we have taken, we've seen 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 40,000% on some of the trades that we take. So with $100 and once or twice a week, you're showing up. Less is more when you have less. If you have more, you can afford more exposure, right? It's just like going out naked in public. You know you might get arrested, but if you have money, you can afford bail, you know? Yes, I am watching Apple right now. Apple is looking great. Apple is moving up right here. I'm already in Apple, if you didn't know. Not from this morning, but I swung this one. Beautiful retest off of the box. We have one box to go. This is the kind of momentum that we want to see. Good pushes, great pushes. Absolutely great pushes. Oh my God. Hold on to your nipples, folks. This one might get rippy. If you don't know, astronauts have to wear nipple protectant so their nipples don't get blasted off in space. This is true. Trust me. All right. Nice cup and handle. Cup and handle. Potter will be starting that challenge with a small account. Everybody in here should do a small account challenge. Everybody in here should do a small account challenge because it challenges you. Okay, so 15-minute. We still have to get through this box, but with this kind of momentum, we have the ability. By the way, if you yesterday on Apple. Today you've got the reclaim of the floor. Everything. I mean, if you guys kept this one up on your charts, you had the reversal here. That right there was your first and best entry, right there or right here. Those were two fire entries. Your third entry, excuse me, was here. So you had 3 separate entries to get into there. I'm not doing. How much did you start with your small account? The first time, $80. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, so 309.75 or 309.35 is the target that we have above us. Yep, 309.50. What's my out for Apple? I want Apple all the way up here, dude. I want 313.50. I'm in here for the enchilada. I'm based off of the 24-hour time frame where we have the 8-hour time frame where you have 2 equal bounces off of the floor. You have empty space within the range right here where price fell rapidly and never went back up to retest. You're also pushing over the same levels and reaching for the same floors that you were refused. So look, Price falls, tries to grab hold of the floor, and fails. You're up against it in its face. I said this on fucking Monday. Go watch my YouTube, and you can learn how I spot these and why I think that these things are going to happen. I even narrated that we were likely going to chop before we actually ripped to the upside. So anyway, yeah, I have a 313 target I'm going to be holding. Now, if you want to trim or anything of that nature, that is entirely up to you. Secure your bag. By the way, IWM is pointing down again. Down again. It has not broken 302, but it is pointing down again. It has to lose something in order for that to actually become an actuality. Do I ever trade the NASDAQ? No. I mean, but no, not really. I want an enchilada, not a Doritos taco. Yeah. Yeah. I want birria. I'm used to fast trades, thinking of switching over to this. I have a theory on scalping. I truly, in my whole heart, believe that faster trading is fear-based trading. You want higher exposure and less periods of time because you're scared of what is likely to come. Because you can only expose yourself to small pockets of price, and people who learn that inadvertently don't understand that that's possibly what's happening. Apple still new highs right here. Good job. Yo, what did he say? Okay, so folks, I said it. I literally just said it a few seconds ago. That is your floor. This is what was refused. So it is absolutely imperative that we keep the foot on the gas. God, we got such a great setup. We just need a little bit more push and a 2 hour, 1 hour candle close up against or outside of this. And I think we'd be good to go. Obviously 303.10, but I see this empty space up here as a real fire setup. So I just want to make sure everybody understands though. That's what I want. That doesn't mean I get it. How do I get it? By the candle closing on the floor. So buyers are in control right now. They need to maintain that control. How could we, right, as traders, find out how to figure out, okay, well, where does that pullback occur? Apple has just ripped ass. So I don't have any structure. So I'm going to go to the 30-second time frame. And on the 30-second time frame, I should be able to see candle closes. See that right there? I should be able to see points of contact. So I could say, even though it's so minuscule, I could say that if the candle got pulled back underneath 309, that we would likely pull back, right? Or at least come back down to wherever the floor is. The floor isn't incredibly clear here, but I'm always going to give precedence to the floor that has the most points of contact. So under 309, you'd likely retest 308. You can also do the same thing by looking to your left on lower time frames while it's moving, and you can establish small ranges like this and then move over to your left, and those will act as retest levels, right? So if we pull back, I love how I'm literally talking right now and I just made $1,300. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, over 309, right? This would serve as an area to quickly retest and quickly fall back down. Dude, we talked about this fucking literally the way it was going to move, price action, all of that stuff. Look at that. So we're looking at 310 now, 310, and then, man, I tell you what, all that empty space up above is absolutely amazing. Doing a small account challenge, $50, seeing what I can get in 90 days. So I have a system. I have a system of actually using, so like $50 to 1,000 or $50 to 500 and then pull it out. If you want to start stacking your capital, you want to start preserving it. By the way, if you're on TikTok, if you don't know, I have a YouTube channel. I am streaming live there as well. You can see the whole stream. But also you guys can go and watch my educational content and learn what my strategy is and how we're doing what we're doing. He just made my largest trade. Me? Can you put in that small $50 into a $300 stock? Yeah, you could, theoretically, depending on the options. This is all options. Yeah, it's still moving. Do you know why it's still moving? Because of lack of empty space, 24-hour time frame. Hold on one second. I have Netflix, but it's not pretty. I would need a huge rip to get this thing back up. ETFs pointing down. IWM pointing down on the 3-minute. Again, I didn't say it lost anything, but it is pointing straight down. It's sitting on the floor. I already have IWM puts. This is the third time. Third time. I'm going to set an alert right there because if you flip that candle overhead, you're going to rip ass. Look at Apple. Tap. There it is. There it is. So now everything can be runners. You can make everything just runners. How is it that we find those 20 cents? You look at the target-based contracts based on the chart that you've using my system, folks. That is how you find these trades. Using my fucking system, you buy target-based contracts. I have fucking contracts that are, I have 315s, knowing that 313 would give 315 contracts some love. So you can play outside of the money when you take these trades. Yes. Yes, take profit. What do you mean? Yeah, take profit. This now you can leave runners and we want a fast pullback, so it doesn't matter. Listen, all those things that I just showed you underneath. Look what you just bounced off of. The gray box right there, that box that we just talked about over to our left, somewhere. Right? We're reutilizing that structure. Do I usually do in the money or out of the money? Out of the money to keep my risk low. Target based. Nobody has a system like mine where they're able to find targets as well as I am, and I don't say that with any ego. I've never met anybody on this planet who's been able to pinpoint targets. I don't use order flow. I don't use any tools. I just using the analysis. I'm able to find bounce levels, rejection levels, price targets really well, and so acknowledging that talent and not even talent, but what we're able to do with this system, we are able to spot where these contracts are likely to, or where these targets are, and then buy contracts that are actually surrounding that target for less than what most people are paying for their out of the money contracts. And this just decreases our risk. Like I have contracts right now that were worth 20 bucks, and now they're worth 54. And if this one rips, like I said, also IWM. Anybody in IWM? Anybody in IWM? IWM new low. I told you guys I am going to hold this one, but I will let you know right now that you have another little pocket right here to go and hit, and that is going to be 301.50. I don't think this is going to be super straight unless we can really, really waterfall, though. It's leaving quite a bit of empty space back up there, so obviously you just stay below 302. The YouTube channel is Potter Stocks Trading. And if you're looking to join the Discord, I hope you are absolutely adamant about not taking signals. You probably have already been through it. You don't want to do it anymore. If you want to be independent, if you want a really good strategy that you can use to navigate any market or buying equity or trading options, whatever that may be, this is the system. This is the system. And while we are not a signal group, we do have a large group of people. We are all using the same strategy. I do not looking for that to change. I do not want to incorporate other strategies because this strategy works so well that we have a beehive of people all using the same strategy, all looking for the same exact thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, 30 my Glock. Am I going to play IWM back up? Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I would love to play that back up. But I am looking for. I do want this one to kind of show trend. I am looking for this, and it's such a. I'm kind of in a weird space right now because I don't ever do this. I don't like trading into range or having a bunch of structure in front of me, but the risk to reward on these contracts is pretty nice. So, figured it'd be worth it. Best thing that ever happened in my trading career was connecting with Potter and the crew. Life changing. Gator, Gator, my boy. I miss you, brother. Come hop on sometime, man. I miss you though, for real, dude. We love you. How do you? How many do you track? One or two, Rogue is what I start with, and sometimes I pile on more. Um, yeah, Gator the real OG, but yeah. Yo, what does that mean? All right, young kids, if you are under 25 years old, what the fuck are you guys saying when you say this? What does '07 mean? What does that mean? I'm 34 years old, guys. I have no idea. That's a salute. God, these kids are fucking smart. Oh, that's World of Warcraft? Oh, I didn't even know that, dude. See, people call me a genius and then that shit happens. Yeah, right. Apple. Guys, I'm holding that 330. I want that. I want that. I want that like DJ Khaled wants somebody, his wife, to love him. You know what I mean? 30, 34. Bro looks 25. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, I got two kids and everything. Yeah. You said AVGO to the downside. Ooh, nice. Yeah, you're doing it, dude. Obviously, it's a little nerve wracking. You've got a 370, 460, and 370, 50 to come and hit. Ivy, can you help D Kraus get the workshop? No one here was as successful as No Stop Loss Steve. Blasphemy, dude. I did add to Apple over 308. So I if when we first looked at it, I hadn't added anything, but then I did over 308. But it's the I did swing this one, so this is I want to stay on Costco, but should I pull now? I think it's fine right now. I think Costco's fine. But yeah, we talked about this one this morning. You had the floor cost basis entry, and then right there was really the cream de la cream. That one had a really good box right here for a punchback. So I kind of got in a little late, but yeah. Apple hit your stop loss, like your trail stop or something. Where is your trail stop? Apple's fine. I don't. What you guys panicking? Everything's fine right now. Let's look at the 3 minute. Let's investigate. Right. What do you do when you want to make a new high? You build a box. If you ran out of volume, you leave some supplies up at base camp. So when you come back with refreshed supplies, right, you have something to come. If you want to, I mean, you can. Obviously, there's nothing promised over 310 today. But I'm going to let it retest always. Let it touch. Sometimes you just got to touch, just a little touch. Ooh, Nvidia's down 2.5%. AMD's down 5% right now. That's cost basis. Nothing goes straight up. That's absolutely right. You're correct. Steven, when you joined, dude, it really, really worked out. Like you were doing really well. And now you're hitting this is the longest I've ever stayed in somebody's live. He is so engaging. I like it. Oh, thank you. I not intentional, but I appreciate that. Steven, you know what, dude? Me and you, I'm about to have you call me. I'm about to hop on a call with you, dude, because a lot of I think you got a itchy trigger finger. I was on a rocket, now I'm on a boat. Yeah, but that's the thing. You're getting excited, right? Imagine, right? You hop on a roller coaster, you expect it to keep going, and then it stops. So it's like I get it, and I can kind of see from a bird's eye perspective, like what you're doing, and I can tell you that most of you, that if you're fucking up and you're not seeing success, you are doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. You're showing up every day, Steven. You're here every day, right? But if you're here every single day, I haven't had time to dig in yet to the workshop. Oh, dude, Steven, that's what I'm saying, man. Listen, all of the things that you are struggling with are things that you can. I believe in you. I believe a lot of you absolutely can make your way past these things. They are defeatable resistance, right? But if you haven't taken the workshop, give yourself some grace, dude, right? You're trying to learn something. Everybody, you're trying to learn something that almost killed me. I mean, this shit gave me an eating disorder. This was not fun. A lot of it, and obviously, I had to put in the work to build the system and all this other shit, and that's extra pain that hopefully you guys don't have to go through. But it's when you first get started, especially if you get started in a successful time period, the illusion will be that that is how it always goes. But we trade in waves, right? Wave comes up, we're in it, and then as it crashes, we're taking profit and we're moving and stepping back. So, and this is a testament to what? You cannot on anything trade it every day. This, that, these are all periods in which the wave has crashed. Price has already expanded and has stopped, getting ready for its next move. So you need to be in tune with those waves. I'm going to tell you a trick. If you have 3 great days, don't wait to lose to leave. 3 great days, get out of there. If you catch Apple for 2 days straight, the 3rd day, light risk, you're peeling back, right? And there are exceptions to the rule. We have to play them as they come. But I'm telling you what, guys, with this strategy, I'm telling you as the creator of the Potterbox strategy that we're going to be doing what everybody else cannot do. And that is knowing that there is an infinite amount of cash that is potentially accessible to us in here, but we are not, right, going to be trying to drink from this fountain every single day. The workshop is inside of my Discord, but I do have my YouTube channel, which is just a series of Q&As, classes, not necessarily always with like a particular subject, but it's more or less like trying to take questions and answering them. But the workshop is for sale. And that's why I kind of try to deter people from going straight to the workshop to try to buy it, because I want them to, especially you're new, I want you to kind of get a really good idea of what I'm doing, how I trade, ask questions. That's what these live streams are for. So my 2nd day trading, first trade gain $3, second loss $2, out for the day. I'll be looking for one more trade for only 1 trade a day. And make sure, Chad, that trade is based off of a higher time frame setup. I'm telling you guys, higher time frame box on a big stock like Apple, Nvidia, AMD, while they're moving, right? It's attractive. This is what the biggest mistake is. Usually big rippers attract traders. Traders come in, then it dies off, and then their liquidity, right? Their options get depreciated. So we want to be trading coming out of these areas of consolidation. Apple's okay, actually. I mean, it's gonna have to fight a little bit. but everything's okay. Chef, how many percentages are we putting on the workshop? Like for a discount? For what? Are you doing a discount, Ivy? Ivy's dropping a discount. Shit, you're in charge, Ivy. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, I did say that, didn't I? I just meant like for sale. You said 25%? What about 30? Oh, for the 6 months? PBS workshop plus 6 months. Okay, for the 6 month workshop. I don't know. You guys want to flip a coin? How about this? Heads or tails? Tails. Look at I got the spinning wheel now. How about this? Tails 35%. Heads 25%. What we think? Is it worth the bet or take the 30%? Take the 30% or heads and tails. Yearly or nothing? Okay. I could flip this. I'm sorry. Let me find my coin. I have a big ass fucking Pokemon coin somewhere in here that's specifically meant for moments like that. There it is. All right, there it is. That's heads with Charizard. Okay, now it's gone. And that's tails. This is so dumb. Tell Siri to flip a coin. That's fucking mad funny. Brillo, we'll get you with a discount next whenever you upgrade or anything else you get in the future, man. All right, ready? What was it? Potter sorry? What are you sorry for? What are you sorry for? Oh, I'm looking at with it. Damn! Fuck! It's tails. Tails. You guys get the discount. Now watch me swallow this whole. Sorry. The shirt? The shirt? What do you mean the shirt? What do you mean? Nah, don't lose faith, man. Don't lose faith, man. Yeah, I did. I love yelling. 6447, yeah. Sometimes I like being dramatic about it. It's okay, actually, though. I mean, for mRNA, I'll take it. Who said that freaky shit? I know exactly what he's talking about. Watch you swallow it. Clip. Oh, no. Is what gonna squeeze? Ivy will drop the code here in a second. Spin the wheel. Ow. Is it gonna squeeze? I mean, brother, it might be doing that. Let's see. That has a great setup. We talked about, yeah, it's got a good setup. You can see my little drawing right here. I see empty space on the higher time frames. Yeah, brother, it looks good. Obviously, you need to get a candle close outside of the 3650, but it's a great fucking start. Great bounce off the floor. Yeah, looks good. How's Alex? Alex, are you on here? Are you on TikTok right now with us?
Look at me.
Retesting, brother. Retest, breakout. I'm gonna be honest with you though, that kind of pullback right there is gonna be tough. You gotta bounce hard. Lauren, you said lemonade. What the fuck just happened? But yeah, you're gonna need to get back up above 121 on that one. That's kind of dead in the water here. What is happening? What is happening right now? What is happening, dude? I can't type on my keyboard. My shit's being weird. Brother, what is happening right now? Bro, my keyboard is fucking not doing anything. No, I hit D and a bookmark comes up. Am I hitting a button or something? What did... It's not wireless, nah. I'm like typing and it's just bring. Okay, there we go. I don't know. Yeah, it works. Okay. Kiss the D key. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Apple. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna go fashion an apple into the shape of a tube and jump on it from the ceiling, dude. Let's go. Oh my god, dude. Pour applesauce on my body. 310.84, next target here. I'm gonna go fucking eat an apple whole, dude. Whole thing in my mouth. L Techman. Apple 310, my order is still waiting to get placed. Bro, you cannot, with options, wait for that order unless you're waiting on shares. I'm up 100% on the ones I just had. Just joined the workshop 6 months. Thanks, fam. Yo, make sure to send me a DM. Let me know why you're here, what your journey's been like. But just kind of give me an update. You know how you found me, why you joined, all that, anything that you think that would be relevant. So that way, I kind of have an idea of how you what you're doing here, what you're trying to accomplish, your goals, dreams. Just kind of helps me get to know you. So, but welcome to anybody who just joined. Hello. Dude, Apple coming in clutch today, baby. Coming in clutch. I just trimmed 18 contracts off the table here. How many people are in your Discord, just wondering? We just hit the $800 mark. That's hilarious. 800 member mark. A lot, I would say about 20% of those people you don't see them very often because they've been in here long enough where they are independent traders. So when I see it rise, cancel order and try to get a better price. Are you trading options, Chad? Oh man, baby. How many of you guys are in Apple with me, baby? You trim too much too soon. Kimberly, you got a little fear bug in you. You got a little fear bug in you. That's okay, right? This takes practice, so don't give yourself some grace. Be gentle on yourself. Obviously, this is something that we work up to, right? So if you've trimmed a little bit too heavy, next time, smaller account or not, right? We have to focus on the trade setup itself. When we have a plan like we did on Apple, when we know, right, Kimberly, how empty space like this moves, we have to see it through. Okay? And then it's these moments where you get frustrated. Listen, this is actually good. It's these moments where you get frustrated that actually inspire you to change, right? This is how that so now, next time, right? And this is for anybody, obviously, there's a lot of you out here. It's hard, right? It is really, really tough to try to hold through these things. So, I, that being said, watching these things happen and then you get out too soon and it happens without you, this is what that uncomfortable feeling is what makes change. And that's how you know you're growing, right? Is if you can see that and say, okay, well, next time is I'm already up. And this is why I repeat to myself over and over again, it either works or it doesn't. That is me subsiding the fear that I have. So it's a pullback that's most painful because you have to watch it. Kimberly, could I make a bet? I were you do you watch your P&L? Do you look at your contracts? I do not. I can't see any contracts right now, by the way. Once I get done trimming, I don't look because I can't really feel emotional. Like I get happy. I'm like, hell yeah, we're moving up. But I can't really the money is what brings in the emotions. And the emotions are what cause us to make unrational decisions, irrational decisions, excuse me. So I will say this 5 minute candle did just get yanked back under 310. So maybe it needs to build, right? If it does need to build, we still have retest levels down here at 310.22. And while that might not be what you want, right, that may be what it needs. First red candle here, new high. I watched the percentages. Yes, that is also going to, Kimberly, try and keep a blind eye. Try and hide it as long as price. So remember this: as long as if you got in here, you got in here, you got in here, you got in here, and price is well above where you got in, it either works or it doesn't. It's that simple. All right. So you guys have to again focus on the price and not the money. Okay. So it's tough, but it's all of this, frustration and pain and stuff like that that does actually, I mean, help us change, help us do better next time. So 100K likes. Oh, I thought you said we had that. How do I feel about the market crashing? Um, I mean, I don't think a catalyst is what crashes the market. So if they actually figure if there were consequences to the bubble that is AI, that's when you're going to see shit hit the fan. But right now, they're going to stir up fear and anger to create better buying opportunities, and they'll continue to move this market up. So, are IWM puts good? I feel like they're neutral. They are not neither evil um or good. So, if you hold I on your keyboard, it taps your screen. I didn't know that. Not staring at P&L is so hard. Stare at me. Look at me. Just look at me. Hold on. Oh, fuck. I fucked it up. Never mind. I don't have any Riz. But seriously, look at something else. Focus on something else. It's, you just got to do it. Now my screen is wet. All right. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I've ever I've ever got a red candle go through my desk. One time, yeah. Yeah, you should especially not be looking at your profits and losses if you're only dealing with runners. Oh, oh. Aren't we at Woyle? Or it's inflationary pressure. Can I define runners? Yes, it's a fraction, typically 10 to 15 or 20% of the original position size after the trade is paid for itself. Up 100 or 220%. The other contract's up 175%. Lemonade, we'll take a look at that one really quickly while I fuck off. Fingers. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, very good. Yes. Oh my god. That's perfect. That's exactly what the fuck we want. That's Ooh, are we gonna have some apple lemonade? Ooh. That actually sounds kind of good. Apple juice lemonade. Somebody make that right now. Somebody make that right now. All right, guys, we are think I can learn the strategy in 6 months. Not new to options. I have no idea, man. I think it would be irresponsible to tell you yes or no on that. I don't know who you are. I don't know how you learn. You could be sharp as a fucking tack and on point, and you could learn this in 2 months. I've had people who, with past trauma in the trading space, come in, and unfortunately, it took them about 2 years to unlearn a lot of those bad habits. So, IWM new lows, trying at least for new lows. Bitcoin is pumping. Is IBIT moving? I hope it is for you guys. I know I've been a hater. I hope it is. There you go. That's cool. How do you choose a strike price and expiration? I choose them based on the target that I have in mind. So, for example, just on this thing, inside of this box, right, the overhead high is 37. But if that breaks and I would obviously see a new high, I'd be looking at 37.80. So I would choose 37.50, $38 strikes, or even as far as $40 strikes, depending on the stock itself, because if it's out of the money and my target gets hit, then my contracts would be on the chopping block, or rather on the buying block. So, yeah, screen record, or if you guys have any gains to post on Apple this afternoon. Damn, loading capital. What a bottom bounce. I'm in IWM short right now, which has honestly just been a burner. Oh shit, I'm up 20% on Costco, y'all. Let's go. Expensive ass contracts. 20% ain't shit, but now I need 270, 972.50 right there. Set an alert on that bad boy. Target on IWM right now is 301.50. 301.51, somewhere in there. I'm looking for that to break. I'm looking for 300. If I'm being honest. Mic check. No. Discord is still down. Do you have a video where you go deeper into strike price and expiration? Yeah. I mean, my workshop that I sell, obviously, yes, does have that, but on YouTube, I can't remember exactly which video because again, all of the educational content is like massive Q and A's or, um, I'll go over the Potter box by itself, but or like a bunch of different things about the Potter box. But I mean, it's in there. I would say go use like the AI. If you have that premium YouTube, you can go and get a synopsis of the video and look at it that way. But I do explain it on my YouTube channel. Um, but most of the time you can simplify it by per resistance. So I'll explain it right now while you guys are here. For example, I have Costco September 18th calls, right? And I took those calls coming out of this box on the first candle close outside of it, right? Stop loss, Potter, please, Potter. That's what we need. On what? Stop loss on what? On IWM right now it's 301.95. If you're talking about Apple right now, a trail stop of 310.73. But anyway, this is a higher time frame chart with resistances or boxes to break up above it, and so I have to add time per resistance. So right now we have this resistance and cost basis, so there's going to be 2 weeks, right? And then we have the overhead here at 290 or 988, and that's where price can go up into the thousands, and that's why I have a expiration going out a month. I have 4 weeks of expiration, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And if it rips, it has empty space. I expect it to go pretty fast. But one of the things that I do to get these high percentages is that I buy shorter expirations, target-based, cheap contracts, out of the money. So like something like Lemonade, right, folks? If we get Lemonade, which looks great right now, by the way, candle close here, or even up against 52, I would be able to play shorter expiration contracts, targeting the empty space to the upside, with the most for sure target being 55.50, but obviously 57 and possibly even $60 would be the target. So Nike is bouncing, dude. If my alert doesn't go off, that's a good bounce though. See, here's the thing. I want to know. I want to know that it's going to keep going up. What's to say this doesn't go up, tap the floor, and get eaten alive? With an hour and 12 minutes left in that 8-hour candle, it's perfectly possible. I mean, it's obviously empty space. So if you traded that one on a lower time frame, that was pretty fire. But explain how you would get into Lemonade. Like, how do you know a contract is bad? Well, Lemonade, if it has is going to have a weird spread, so you're automatically going to be faced with a challenge. But typically, the way that I determine whether a contract is good is if that target based contract. So, for example, 55.50. This is in a liquid stock, so there's not a lot of volume sitting on those contracts. But if I was to take it now, knowing that I have overhead resistance, I have 51.75 and cost basis, so I have no guarantee that we're going to go there. I would have to take 2 to 3 weeks off. Would you say it's possible to learn the PBS based off your videos alone? Yes, and I encourage people who do not want to spend any money, or you've been scammed before, or you just don't have the money, to not go with that options, to go with my YouTube channel and to be in these live streams and to show the fuck up. If you show up, I show up, we can figure some shit out, we can learn. But if you don't show up, then that's going to be a major factor, because it's important that you guys see this. You know what I mean? Like, you guys see how I'm interpreting price live, how I'm determining price, or price targets, the lower time frame on Apple, right? Kind of walking you guys through that. These are important things that actually really help people, based off my experience. So targeting 9 for expiration con $60, there appears to be 2 big bunches of resistance abed. It's not a compensate for the time that it will take. So like you could add a week to that as well. But yeah, it's decent. Yeah. And at some point, Chris, if it's taking too long, you can roll. Can you explain how to mark a stop loss first and first touch profit, etc.? Sure. So for something like Apple, which we just destroyed, which still has some potential to keep going up here, even though this might want to retest anywhere underneath 310.70. But something like this actually gave quite a few entries, right? So first off, this was the primary entry. What you'll notice is that price has a really hard time hanging out above it. So that would be one of the major difference makers. You also have candle closes and a floor right here, right? And that's important when you see two taps right there. So when I get into a trade, right, I want my structure or my stop loss to be on areas that look like this. And if you zoom in with me, you'll actually see that the wick bounces right off of it and pushes forward. So I want that to be my stop loss, or all of these, everything that I mark out right here will be an entry and stop loss, because my theory is I don't want to lose money, right? If I can help it, I don't want to. But when I find these clear points of contact, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, right? These are areas that price, if it falls, so let's say we go to cost basis, you'll pull back and you'll hit the floor. That's my stop loss. This allows me the ability to determine or have time to manage that trade. So if it doesn't bounce very well and it's weak and it pops up and then immediately gets eaten down, I can go ahead and cut that trade and I can eliminate the possibility of me losing a lot, right? And the same thing goes for candle closes up above. So these 3-minute candle closes and points of contact, that would have been a reasonable stop loss. A candle close on the 307 floor was also a reasonable stop loss and entry. Cost basis gets a little tricky because when it rips this hard, that makes the stop loss something very close. So you'd have to use like 307.96 as a stop loss, right? And then finally, the overhead high. Now, this one can be tricky because if you do not have something as low as Apple was, this one, right, if you break out, you will bounce off of this. But then if that fails, you will retest here. And that's where you would have to stop out and then re-enter off of the bounce, whatever structure you built when you bounced. So. All right, I'm seeing some selling here on Apple. Still a great little range at the moment. A little bit, not a lot. I shouldn't even say anything, actually. And if we can get over right here, you should pop that high. How long does a trade break through the top of an hourly channel? How often does a long trade break through? Quite often. Quite often. In fact, it's better to do it that way than to try to anticipate a reversal. Okay, so Bill, this gets into a very tricky situation when do you see the red? Do you guys see that off of Apple? So anything underneath this floor, right, could be a trail stop, or if I'm going to hold. But this trade is risk free right now. I don't need to worry about it. I would allow for price to even come down. Now, when it falls, how do we want to fall? We want to fall fast, because if we fall fast, this will allow price to bounce and reverse just as quickly, setting us up for a reversal. '55s. IWM just reached a new low, by the way, 301.20. Just would like to make a little more money to pay for the workshop. Chris, do it. Absolutely, man. I would love for you to make the money to buy something rather than trying to stretch your pockets, dude. Good. Yeah, that's a totally achievable goal, Chris. So, Bill, going back to your question, um, when something is moving, you either have you a market for order is just ask. So sometimes you do have to go with the ask. If it's a tight spread, that's okay. If it's not, that can get you screwed, and you might have to wait for a pullback in order to get in. right? But when something is sitting, and one of my favorite things to do is, when a floor gets recovered like this, you're not going to see options pump up that hard. And that actually, could have been a very, very substantial, that could have been a great stop loss, is that floor of 306. And that's where you can kind of get in with a little bit more liberty, or a little bit more grace, because you don't have, um, the pump in those option contracts yet. So, but yes, if it's moving up against you, and you're going to have to go with the ask, you cannot lowball people when a product. Think about it. If a product is hot and and people are loving it and it's viral and all that other shit, then how are you going to sell it or try to buy it, excuse me, at a lower price than what people are selling? They're in control. It's a buyer's market. So it is something where you have to fill on the ask. So is 4 weeks for lemonade? Yeah, that is enough. That is enough. IWM, is anybody short on IWM? Grateful for you, Potter. Oh, thank you, man. I don't know what your name is because it's just a ape, and I don't really feel comfortable saying that on live. You know. Well, I guess it's ape is fine. You never know nowadays. I ain't trying to get whacked. Yes, went short, average down. Very good, Baba Vanga. Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. That's a vocal stem for me. Baba Yaga. Hansel Popper. Juju, no. No. If the floor gets lost, you can get out on mRNA. It is at the floor right now. I still have faith in this setup, but I am aware that it is a strong possibility to fall. That fall could bring us down to 61.25. So yeah, prepare. Did I sell all of my Apple? No. Nope. Still holding runners. Still, I'm going to hold these runners until they go back to zero, or they do what I told them to do, which is, I think, the higher probability. I think I get what I want. Good bounce. Damn, that was a fire level. Damn, boy, them levels be slapping, boy. Oh my god. That's right, Rogue. I'm making that cat food right now. Finna roll you up something fat with that catnip, shawty. Big kitty cat. Big kitty cat. IWM downside target. I have 300 on the radar. It's not my favorite setup just because there's so much structure underneath us. But my thoughts are that, following, and this could be a substantial enough fall, but I think right here, actually where we're at now, is a reasonable area. Then we have this floor right here at $300.87, and that would give way to this box underneath you, which, I'm looking at the trend line as well. So it could be around $300 that we're looking for. So Apple bounced. Yeah, it's doing everything that it should do. What levels do I have? I just marked those out. You can see them on the 30-minute, actually. There's a box right here. You're about to hit its cost basis. This is a strong bounce level for sure, for, that could offer a retest of 301. So this is an area where we have to watch. Till Ivy, no bonus. Oh my God. Junior. That's hilarious. Junior, it's my last one. It's my last one. I burned through them. Yeah. Yeah. That's you when you see a pullback, you want to see a faster pullback. Faster the pullback, the better the chances are that it will have an easier time reversing because that's an unsustainable move. You cannot sustain a move without substantial volume. So if you see a big tap down but it doesn't break anything, then your chances are you're going to bounce. And with Apple, right, there's still structure underneath us, and there's no promise, you know. But with the trade paid for and remaining empty space, you know, yeah, you want to see what's happening right now. So now that this level failed, so we pulled the volume off that wick. Now we're moving down to the actual structure of the box that we. So right here, we're going to look for something similar. Now this is empty space technically all the way. So if you drop into the top of that box, you could see a trip down to 309. So let's see what we get. I want that Jalisco rosin cart, dude. That was the fucking bee's knees. I'll send you some loot too, Poppy, and a little tip, Poppy. AMD's in a tight spot, brother. You got a little structure here. If you can break through that, I mean, I see the potential for AMD with this reversal to potentially take a trip down to 460, 277. I'll be off at 11. You got the menu. If you'll send it to me, brother, out that would help. Ugh. Just gross myself out. Elf actually is doing really well today, holding up inside of its box. I still really love the guys. I love Elf. I love it so much. It's doing well. Just needs to get outside of that overhead 95.50. Yep, IWM just hit my target at $300.90. Hopefully you guys are trimming. Oh, Potter, can I run by a contract that I got on Celsius? Yeah, go ahead. All right, Apple. Getting into territory now. Yep, IWM bounced right off of $300.90 on the dollar. NVIDIA could be up to 50% undervalued. 50% undervalued. Bank of America says NVIDIA may trade at 34 to 50% discount as investors could be overstating AI related risk. Bank of America sees NVIDIA's aggressive AI investments as a long term opportunity despite potential balance sheet risk if demand slows. Wow. UAE air defense systems detect missile threat. Damn. Damn. You know what though? I just want to run something by you guys. I don't know if you guys remember. I have watched so many banks place price targets on stuff, saying stuff like that, just to create the liquidity for it to fall. So I don't know. Sounds like Bank of America bottom. I mean, we'll see, but I don't know, man. Oh boy, you better pull yourself up there quick on Nvidia, or we're gonna be looking at a 213.50 retest. By the way, do you guys see how not panicking? Do you guys see how watching price, even though this isn't, I'm not saying it's going to work out. Look at that. Trust your levels. They're going to respond. What does my contract expiration have to do with the price of the contract? What does my contract expiration have to do with the price of the contract or with the price of the contract? So wait, hold on. What does my contract expiration? So, the price of your contract will not depreciate as quickly if you have a longer expiration. Sorry, I was kind of confused on how you worded that. But yeah, so the date of the contract gives you more time, which the value of a contract is actually based on its probability to be usable, to actually be exercised. So it's one of those situations where the more time you have, the more probability is in your favor because it could happen. Now, the further away you get away from that price target, obviously you're still going to see the decline. So, when am I hopping off? Shortly. It's 11 o'clock. So all I see is Apple trying to rage bait me. Not not paying attention to your P and L definitely helps right now. You said Q short. Um, Careful chasing, but you are sitting on a volume rich box. And if I'm not mistaken, pretty close to cost basis. So any sort of reversal would be over 718, and any sort of continuation to the downside would be under 713.82. So it's tough to really grab stuff after big moves like that without having some sort of lower time frame help. I can see a potential for a reversal now. If you recover 717.60 and 718 right there, you'll see a pop up to 719. So SPY, choppy, terrible mess because it's sitting on top of a floor. Man, I tell you what, this would, yo, normally I would like look at that and immediately want to kind of YOLO, um, like 772 strike. But you are sitting on the floor. You are. So it is possible to bounce here. And it is possible to flip that overhead and fill that empty space up above, but that is all going to be determined by what happens as per usual, right? By what's above. So it looks, and I'm actually going to cinch that down and focus on the most recent price action. So outside of 769.23 would be an area where you would be looking for price to go and break. If this fails, right? So you're having multiple bounces in this area. If this bounce does not result in price moving back up into that structure, then yes, you will be looking down. I got Celsius $40 calls a month out with a stop loss of 29.10. Reasonable. I see empty space down there, so I mean, like even 29.60 could be a little bit more of a, you know. Yes, IWM still has downside. Yeah, I'm still waiting on more. I got $300.65 here to the upside. But anyway, for Celsius, obviously you don't have confirmation quite yet. And with it, I mean, if you're just buying it now without it having reclaimed, or even if it's sitting on its floor, you just need to be ready to potentially uh, exit that position. And with such a clear box, even here on the 5 minute, it's just too easy to go and push something, right here, which is also a cost basis right here. So you could set an alert on that box up above and wait for that one to come to you. What the hell? But that's not bad. Potter clips. I think it's just more or less, confirmation is needed on this one. So, you know, if you do get a candle close, personally, I wouldn't hold if I see a floor like this because that's what needs to be broken, or that could be. It's hard to exit. Celsius spread is rough. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. Nana? Why is Nana doing that stuff, man? What Nana doing? Should I join Potter? That's completely up to you. Are you talking about my Discord? Yo, ass. What's up, dude? Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to have the ass back. Celsius will go to $100. I hope so, bro. I'd be a very, very happy man. Be shaking that ass, you know what I mean? But I do have a price target of 91.33 for the equity side of things. One day. Yeah. I agree with you. I actually do think this is a decent place to be looking for a buy, though. I mean, even if it doesn't work out, as long as you can manage your risk really well. Look at that weekly right there, dude. That's a weekly punchback. That's my strategy on crack. And then beautiful empty space. Yeah. Did you nail that? Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my God. Damn. Potter be nice to my Nana. She's just trying to make money to buy your course. All right. I guess I'll click on the ad. Nike won't pull back. Be patient on that one. It's all empty space. It's going to rip hard. We, right, will still have a great chance to get in. That's where you got to kind of calm that, like look at that floor. We still got to go get that floor. Amazon went up, like you said. I said that. Dude, I'd be forgetting shit. I'd be forgetting plays. Oh my God. Dude, look at the bounce, baby. Yeah, you got empty space up there, but the market is not cooperating with you. Speaking of cooperating, Apple is trying to go give us that 50% mark. Rogie pants. What are you doing, you big chunker? How much for one-on-one trading? Brother, I don't even have a price for that because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in and maybe I'm wrong, I will say maybe I'm wrong, but I think that see, here's the thing about it. I don't want to charge people for that because obviously my time is valuable, but I would feel I just feel gross when people are like, can I pay you $1,000 for an hour? And I'm like, the fuck, I've refused people's money because I just don't, I don't feel comfortable doing it, but I also just don't believe that it is necessary in order to be successful. I think that it's sometimes actually worse because you baby someone in a way, and you're very, involved or whatever, and that one-on-one conversation ends up becoming a cradle, and people will keep coming back, and sometimes the difficult part that you're struggling with, like you're just one question away. Like you could just ask me a question, and I might be able to solve whatever, and then you're moving on, right? So I just don't do one-on-ones for that reason. I just don't think that they're I think it's a good money grab, if you're trying to make money off of people, but I just personally feel indifferent about it. What I think about this is a one-on-one. I mean, thinking about it, it's just me and you guys. I know there's maybe 200 and 300 people altogether. But listen, I might short Roblox. Holy shit, I might short that. I might short that, actually. I am going to short that. Me short. Shortest of them all. Yeah, I kind of want to short that. Is my strategy free? You can learn this strategy for free. Yes. It is also for sale. I have a workshop that has it all organized and consolidated into classes that were held live with a live audience asking live questions multiple times over 3 or 4 years. And then you would, if you got my workshop, you'd have access to that. But then on my YouTube channel, I have a whole educational playlist where I'm doing virtually the same thing, but sometimes trading, or the questions are a little bit all over the place. So it's not as organized and consolidated, but it's still there. So yes. And if you show up to these lives. Um, but with Roblox, I'm not going to short it yet, but I really will consider shorting this one underneath this box right here to take this one down to like 36. With all of these overhead rejections, the best and most bullish thing might be to pull back and then build in here. And then whenever we find ourselves, I think I talked about this. This one might be even better. I actually, yeah, Roblox short has just made the watch list for me because that's a pretty damn good short setup. Did I get into Nike? Nope, not even. Nope. Pentagon weighs smaller U.S. Gulf presence. The Pentagon is considering reducing U.S. troops present in the Gulf after the Iran war, as repeated Iranian strikes expose vulnerabilities at major American bases. Options include shifting focus towards Jordan, Israel, or Saudi Arabia rather than rebuilding damaged Gulf facilities. No formal decision has been made, no permanent changes, but will require approval from senior. That's crazy. I know some of you guys probably follow him, but dude, that Big Daddy Max, Max options trades or whatever the fuck they call them, something about him, dude. I've been watching him for years. Not like watching him, but dude, I really think that guy's a fraud. I really think he's a fraud. Not that it matters, but IWM. What the fuck just happened? IWM, 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 trimming, IWM, and I'm gonna hold. Listen, if you can, I'm gonna leave it like 2 or 3 contracts on the table for the rest of the day. But we are nearing levels that could bounce. Those runners are just in case, and again, it's free money. But we are very close to hitting that $300 target here, so just prepare yourself. Yes, but I mean, if we get the rest of the ETFs breaking down, we very much could see continuation. I have a target, a runner target, and I'm actually thinking about grabbing some gambles, but I have a runner target of 298.41. That is where we could see this one break down if we saw a big enough move today. I'm long on Costco. I'm long on Costco. I've been long on this one for a couple of days coming out of the box underneath it, but I need this one over to 977 for a trigger to the upside, for continuation of the upside. Tim, I'm not much of a day trader. I know you see me day trading right now, but I pray a lot of these positions I actually swung into. I swung IWM and Apple. I just added to those positions. You said RIP R. Yeah, this one's looking at the imbalance on that wick at 6160. You know, I do want to remind you guys, I'm still, I still love this setup, but I know that it was going to move like this. Building boxes, it's got two off the top, and if it drops heavy, bro, yeah, we do have a wick underneath us, but I think that this one's still a favorite until it actually, in fact, watch for a bounce here shortly around 62. IWM still paying us money, dude. Yo, not bad this morning, by the way. I said that this one was lagging against the rest of the market and had not fallen as much, and now we're seeing that same fall. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. How's the heart? Heart's been okay, man. No palpitations. Just been taking it a little bit more easy on the extracurricular breathing apparatuses. All right. Well, I tell you what. Let me see if this Discord's working yet. Talk to me about these palpitations. Um, I mean, I've gone to uh a special, not a specialist, but just like a regular doctor a while ago, and she said it was anxiety. No, not this oil. This oil is not toxic. It's third party tested and all that. It's just heat. But anyway, yeah, it was I was swallowing anxiety attacks. So like not recognizing them, but my heart would like palpitate, and then I would like I would feel like I was about to have a heart attack, and that made me even more anxious. But then there's also the nicotine pouches, which raised my blood pressure. Um, but yeah, start training, brother. Long walks to begin with. Yeah, I'm already doing that. Yeah, I'm already walking. I've got to get back to a lot of the things that I used to do anyway. I dedicated so much time and stuff to this trading that I forgot some of my good habits. But I've been back on the road. I've been walking. I've been running. I ran with the dog yesterday. I'm going to run with her again today. Yeah, I went down to 9 milligram pouches. We have a really good disc golf course near us. I love disc golf. Not great at it, but I love it. I threw this dude's $300 or $200 fucking disc golf into the fucking pond. Yo, you go to Disney World like once a month on vacation? Nah, no, not once a month. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna. You said that with pride. Yeah, I'm down to 9 milli, but I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't. Yeah, the Discord's still down. I'd be open to a conversation about this, Potter. About what? Change the server? How do you do that? How do you change the server? You know how to do that? Am I crazy for wanting Microsoft down? Maybe not. I don't know what it looks like. Let me see. With the 2 weeks, would I be able to catch and learn live trades with y'all? You're not going to be able to learn everything you need to in 2 weeks. No, that's not possible. I wish, I mean, if I was a good salesman, I would tell you yes, but no. You might be a little crazy if okay, so right now, what needs to happen is you need to see this candle that's gone. You see how it pulled itself up above the floor? So there's a box right here. You punch down, pull yourself up back up above cost basis. If this candle, the closer it gets to closing above 483, you actually have more upside potential over 480, 483 to go and retest. But if this candle can fail, right, and you keep seeing, so again, when sellers step up, right? I just heard somebody in Discord. When sellers step up, right, and there's your signal right there. That's the 15-minute. Do you see these wicks? See how you get that and that and that? That needs to result in the candle actually falling and closing on the floor. That's how sellers win. What does the paid Substack bring? More and more information. Oh, hello. Oh, it is working now. Holy shit. Look at you. How'd you do that? You're just a genie. Oh, you should have gave me a really complicated. You should have given me a really complicated explanation so that it sounded like you were like a fucking genius. Yeah. All right, we're back on Discord. Yeah, Discord is online, so yep, everything good. How the fuck we grow a red jalapeno? Jalapenos always come out red first, right? They turn red and then green. Oh, I mean, yeah, you'll learn, dude. Yeah, it'll be. I mean, it's not going to be a waste of your time. That does look good. If a couple of things need to happen here, so you already retested down there, you've already retested on the top of that, and then you have this box crazy crunch right there. Retests 126, punch back over 127.70, and then there is some empty space up here and a good solid target right up around the 135.50. So I mean, yeah, with the right candle close, push outside right here. All right. Well, it is 11:30. If you're on TikTok, you guys can. If you're inside of the Discord, go ahead head over there. Oh my god. And I'll keep my stream up, but otherwise, I'm probably gonna go ahead and grab some grub. Apple's just chopping right now inside of its little range. IWM has done pretty much everything I've asked of it today, but does look like it's catching a little bit of a bid right now. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. Yeah, right. Green and red. Yeah, my bad. I've been watching the lives on quite a while on TikTok. Now you better help. Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, and obviously, from here, the workshop is going to be the most important thing. But I think Spy can go lower a little bit later. I think it's about to get to midday. You're more likely to catch a bid and a bounce. Potter, is that decaf? No. Nope. I know, J Dan. I gotta chill. I gotta cut it off. I've actually been doing better, so I have been doing better. I don't do 2 shots of espresso. I do 1 shot, and then this is all I've drank this morning. So pretty good. We're doing better. Put crack inside. Okay. Do I see IWM rejecting more? Yeah, I think caffeine is part of what's doing it to me, man. That and then, sometimes the herbage. Toxic of selling rocks. Pull me over. Sober Nova. I'm making one show. Search my ride. 30132. You said, hey, Neurogum made me feel worse than drinking coffee. Some people it does. Some people it does. Yeah. Gummies are better. These? I don't eat gummies. Them shits are too fucking Ivy the goat fixed Discord. Yeah, she did. Okay, Potter, let's go back. How the heck do you know about the astronauts nipples things? Oh, I just made that up. Yeah, that's not true. My bad. I just made that up on the spot. Crazy. Fooled me too. I was like, that's an interesting and odd fact. No way. Anything cool happened today? Yeah, Apple happened today. Down to 9 is diabolical. I was at 12 millis. So we're working our way down. 6 is next. We'll get 6. All right. Well, the workshop is discounted if you want to check it out. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Discord is back up and running. Shout out to Ivy. She's the GOAT. I will see you guys after lunch. All right. I'm on 9 too. Tay, if you quit, I quit, dude. Call me. All right, guys. I'll see you a little bit. Peace.